Welcome back, fellow travel warriors. I'm Steve.
And I'm George.
Join us as we unpack the challenges, excitement, preparation,
and passion for travel.
Hey, George, what do you know?
Hey, Stevie, how are you doing today?
Pretty good. What do we got on this episode?
Well, do you remember back in 2007, you were working here in Tulsa. We're working together. And I want to say on the last day or so, before you left, you called me up and you said, hey, I'm taking some pictures of some items around town. And I want you to come out here and take a picture of me in front of the Golden
Driller Man.
That's right, the Golden Driller. Do you remember that?
That's what I call him. Yeah, I really do.
And I remember when you told me that, I was like, the Golden Driller? Really? And you're like, oh yeah. And what I would like to do is talk about, I know we're the travel warriors, we travel all around the world, but there's stuff in our own hometown, right, here in Tulsa, and where you're at in
Indeed.
Phoenix, that we can talk about. I know there's a lot more stuff to do in Phoenix than in Tulsa, but we do have a few things, and I thought it'd be a great way for maybe a summer series, or moving forward, where maybe once a month we can kind of highlight something that's kind of cool in our city. And I thought the Golden Driller here in Tulsa would be a start. What do you think?
Well, I think it's a great idea. I think, particularly for Phoenix and the Scottsdale area, we have so many neat places that we could record with the backdrop, places that would be of interest to our viewers that, haven't been here, or maybe were here a few years ago, that are now looking at what's new in our city, and would certainly promote, an interest in coming back. But tell me a little bit more about the Golden Driller, and I did take a picture of it that one day. Unfortunately, I don't have a picture of it behind me. I was by myself, and to be honest with you, I just know about the statue. I don't really know more about if that was a drill site, or what's the history, why it's there. Fill us in.
Yeah, the Golden Driller is an iconic statue here. It's located at the Tulsa Expo Center here at the fairgrounds. It is 75 feet tall. And
can we see it?
Absolutely. I'm going to start walking here. It's 75 feet tall, and it is the 6th largest statue here in the U.S. Did you know that?
I didn't know. Name one thing that's ahead of it.
Well, the number one largest statue in the U.S. is the Statue of Liberty. So that is number one. Since I've come here, there's been a few cars, a few people. I'm trying to get it into view here. The Statue of Liberty is number one. There is a couple other statues. There's one in Florida. There it is. There's one in Florida, another statue in Utah, another statue in Montana that are ahead of it. There's another one, I'm losing track of which one's where. But anyways, this is the 6th largest statue in the U.S. It is 75 feet tall, like I said, and it symbolizes the importance of the oil industry to the city of Tulsa and to the state of Oklahoma. It was originally created around 1952, 1953 for the International Petroleum Exposition. And after that, they took it down. And then 7 years later, six, 7 years later, in 1959, they had another expo, and they built another one. And the people loved it so much that it got redesigned, and then in 1966, it became a permanent fixture here at the Tulsa Fairgrounds. So it was designed by a gentleman by the name of George Harris, and he was an artist for the Mid-Continent Supply Company. So he had the final design that we see here. So a couple of those things I didn't even know of or know about, so it was kind of exciting to learn the little bit history of it. So again, 1952, 1953, about that time, where the original driller was created, and here we are in 2024.
George, do you happen to know who owns it? Is it on state property? Does the state own it? Is it private ownership? I'd be interested to know.
No, I'm not 100. I don't know. When I did my research, I'm not really sure who owns it. If it's the city that owns it or the fairgrounds that own it. That's a great question. I'll try to do some follow up on that to find out. I know it's made of steel and concrete. It weighs about 43,000 pounds. Of course, it depicts an oil worker or a roughneck standing with one hand resting on an oil derrick. I think the oil derrick was donated by the Indian tribe back at that time. That was, or oil derrick that was on maybe some Indian property that was donated that wasn't being used. As you can see, it has a hard hat, belt, gloves, kind of representing typical oil industry attire. Here at the fairgrounds, the Tulsa State Fair is here in September, so that's a big draw, of course. The last time I was here in this area was a few years ago. They were doing COVID shots. So when I got my COVID vaccine, one of them, I can't remember which one it was, the first one, second one, was actually here at the fairgrounds, here at the expo. Interesting fact, I found out that it is, as of 2014, listed on the National Registry of Historical Places. So that's how I found that. Yeah.
That definitely puts it on the map.
Absolutely. And it's a kind of a beloved landmark here in the community. I see it on commercials, on any type of Tulsa magazines. You kind of always see it. You know, it's kind of one of those things is that I grew up seeing this as a kid, and you don't really think that much about it. But sometimes you don't know how important it is to a community or to people that come from out of state. You know, you kind of don't realize it because it's in your own backyard.
I can hear cars driving by. If you can refresh my memory, it's kind of like on the outskirts of town, right? So there's really not that many commercial businesses on that street. Is that correct?
There is some residential. There are some pretty, this is sort of called around Midtown Tulsa. So downtown Tulsa is about 10 minutes away. Again, you have the fairgrounds here. When I was a kid, they had an amusement park here, a little bit towards the west here, about a half a block. It was called Bell's Amusement Park. It's been closed for a long time. That was here. On the other side of the fairgrounds, the Tulsa Drillers baseball team, they're a AA affiliate now of the Los Angeles Dodgers. They had their stadium here. Now it's been moved to downtown. They have a beautiful ballpark. But growing up, on the other side of the expo, again, about a mile was the baseball field. The horse track is here. So we used to come sort of in college and afterwards for some horse racing in the summertime. There are the gathering place. It's a new park here in Tulsa it's close to Riverside on the Arkansas River. I'll probably do a shoot from there. It would be really interesting. That's not too far away from here. We have some museums that are not too far away from here. A water park, I believe is Big Splash. Honestly, I don't even know if Big Splash is still going on, but I think it's not too far away from here. Where I live is about 25 minutes south, so I don't venture too much on this part of town. But yeah, they do, again, across the street from here is some neighborhoods. They do have some shopping areas close by. There is a mall close by. So that's probably why you see a little bit you hear the traffic go by.
I was wondering, for such a iconic structure in the city, and that's one of the reasons why I asked if it was privately owned or state owned. I don't recall seeing anything around it, like, for instance, like a restaurant or a beer pub or something that promotes the area or the Golden Driller or anything like that. And I thought, wow, I wonder why they wasted this opportunity not to build around it so that it become a more of a destination place for people that are both tourists and locals to have some kind of thing I'm just picturing little keychains, in the gift shop with the driller man, or
Yeah.
whatever, T-shirts and the Drillerman's there, Tulsa. I mean, what's your take on that?
Yeah, I didn't think about the eateries. I think that the issue maybe is that, here is the expo center and the fairgrounds, but takes up, square. I mean, it takes up a large portion of this block, this whole square mile of property. Yeah, now that you think about it, I don't see, there's no restaurants here, but, a mile in other directions, they are.
Okay.
A couple of fun facts. I don't know if you can see, but on the belt buckle, okay, on the belt buckle, it does say Tulsa. But in 2020, Tulsa was trying to bid for Tesla's Gigafactory 5. It was a big deal. I think it was between Tulsa and maybe Austin and maybe another city. I think Austin won out. So what they helped attract Tesla and Elon Musk to come here was they changed the belt to say Tesla instead of Tulsa. I thought that was kind of cool. The other thing that was kind of interesting reading was there's an amusement park in France, and there's a free fall drop ride at this amusement park that's called the Golden Driller. And they have a smaller replica of this Golden Driller at that amusement park, help promoting that ride. So
well, now you got that amusement park.
Absolutely.
You have a choice now. Let the cat out of the bag.
Yeah. I mean, we have, the Statue of Liberty was a gift, right, from France to the U.S. And so the Statue of Liberty faces Europe. And there's a baby Statue of Liberty in Paris that faces the United States. Here we are. Well, we have a Golden Driller. I'm trying to think. This is facing south, so it's not facing towards France.
Well, funny that you mentioned that, because Shar and I were taking a little, in Paris, you have the Seine River, right? We were cruising along, and I see this little bridge, and right in the center of it was the Statue of Liberty. So I've actually seen that in France, in Paris.
That's great. That is great. Well, Steve, that's all I have here from Tulsa. I thought it'd be a great series coming up that we can kind of highlight some of our city's kind of cool things. I wanted to start it off with the Golden Driller here in Tulsa.
Well, Georgia did such a great job. I was thinking that maybe you can send this episode over to the local TV station and maybe, just kind of carve you into one of their TV segments for local interest.
That'd be great.
They might even hire you. They might even hire you to do, on-scene reporting with George, the travel warrior. So seriously, you should send it to him.
All right.
So a great job. Very interesting. As usual, you help, break it down for us and really enjoy it. So thank you for joining us. And please join our ever-growing community of travel warriors. And let's continue this journey together.
And please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, so you can stay updated on future episodes. Until next time, this guy says, safe travels.